being a minority and
Hmm.
being a African American woman business owner, it's very hard at
Hmm.
times because a lot of people do not take you serious. They don't
Hmm.
think you serious about your business. They don't think you know a lot about the business. All wins are wins, but failures are also wins. It's all the journey. It's not about the destination.
Welcome back to Zenpath Radio. I'm your host, Ryan, and we have a special treat for you today. We have Dr. Tonya. She is the owner of K.O.L Life Transportation, but she's not just doing transportation, she's also doing home care services. So you're gonna get almost like a double treat today. We're gonna learn about how she got up and running with her company and how she was able to tie in extra services and how she was able to benefit doing this. So you're definitely gonna want to, grab some popcorn, grab some drinks, and enjoy this interview today. Because it's gonna be full of information. But speaking of information, have I told you about ZSB yet? I don't think I have. So ZSB is our newest company. It's a leaderboard where providers can share anonymously information on brokers and private pay facilities. The data on these brokers and facilities is going to be anywhere from the requirements to reviews to even the going rates of the pay for each state. So for a limited time, for early members, you will be getting 2 months free of ZSB. And so to learn more, we're going to be dropping a link in the description and the top comment. So yeah, let us know what you think. The more knowledge that's shared, the more power we all become. So check that out. So without further ado, what you guys all been waiting on, welcome, Dr. Tonya. How are you?
Hi, I'm doing good. I'm doing very good. How about
So
you?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well. Like I fly back and forth between the West Coast and the East Coast or the Midwest. Most of my time is in the West Coast. Silicon Valley to be more specific. Um, and right now I'm in the Midwest, and we're expecting to get the after effects of the Canada forest fire. I don't know if you're familiar with that.
Oh, I am.
Okay, so
It's coming to Georgia.
yeah.
I
So
think
we're
sometime today.
yeah. So like that's something that like we are definitely anticipating, and it's just like, but things happen, natural events happen, so it's
Mhm.
whatever, But other than that, I can't complain. I can't complain too much. But you're in Georgia, so I know the weather must be great in Georgia, like and everything must be relaxing. So how's Georgia?
Georgia is hot today.
Desert heat, huh?
Yeah, so it's kind of like 93 degrees right now. So it's
Jeez.
to us, it's burning up.
Yeah, I can definitely see that. I can definitely see
Very
that.
hot today.
So I think Georgia is a very interesting place because we haven't had any. Have we had anybody from Georgia on a podcast? I don't think we had anybody from Georgia on the podcast. So you are the first one.
Okay.
So I'm sure there's a lot of viewers that are in Georgia and they're like, Ryan, where are the Georgia people at? We need some information on Georgia and how to get started. So I'm glad to have, an expert on the podcast. And, I called you a seasoned when last time I talked to you, I called you a seasoned entrepreneur, because you've been in the business for a while.
I was shocked.
Yeah. Yeah, because I've been running into a lot of people that, they have businesses not too long, maybe like a year or maybe a little bit less, and to have an entrepreneur with like not just a couple of years, but you had like you had like I mean, like you're getting up there, right? Um so I know you have a lot of
I'm
knowledge to
so
share.
shocked. I'm shocked because
Yeah.
time is flown by. It was just
Exactly.
like yesterday. It still is.
Awesome. So Tanya, so let's tell us. So take us back in time. How did you get into the industry? How did you get into the industry? And yeah.
Okay, so we short on time, so I'm just gonna narrow it down a little
Okay.
bit. I have been in the medical field for 19 years.
Hmm.
So I started off being a respiratory therapist,
Hmm.
and then I kind of just expanded my education by getting a master's degree, and then I progressed to get my PhD. So I graduated in 2019 with a PhD in health service administration. So my typical thing that I really wanted to do was to try to climb the ladder at the job, and then that didn't work out. So I typically put in I would say about 10 to 15 applications to try to get a promotion. At this one particular facility, I put in 4 applications and I said, well, let me just get my bachelor's and maybe I get the job. My master's didn't get the job. Got my PhD, didn't get the job. Um, so God just told me, hey, this is not what I want you to do. I want you to start your own. So that's what I did.
Awesome. And did you know, did you have like a lot of, did you know a lot of people in this industry beforehand? Did you have any firsthand knowledge of this industry? I mean, I know you were in the medical field before, but.
Yes. I know several because of the resources that me and my husband have. He works at the fire department.
The
So
what department? You broke up a little bit. The what department?
the fire department.
Oh, the fire
So
department. Okay.
yes, he's chief at the fire department. So of course we run into a lot of EMTs. So that ride the ambulance service, or they are paramedics, or and this particular being at my job at one of the healthcare facilities, a lot of non-emergency transportation services they come by. So I run into a lot. So I was just asking questions like, "Hey, what are you doing?" It's like we're non-emergency. So I was inquiring about the company that they had this particular company, which they are literally have blown up since then. They were just starting out. So looking about 5 years ago, they are literally doing very well. So, and I first started my home health company. So then I had in the back of my mind, I want to start a non-emergency because of the need, not
Mm-hmm.
with just the clients that I have in my home health, but in general, discharges, dialysis. So I was seeing that need. I said, I think I need to get into this business. And that's exactly what I did.
So for the people that's watching, tell them how long ago did you start? Like, when did you start your NEMT? What year?
2019.
2019.
Yes.
And in 2019, did you see a lot of NEMT vehicles around and stuff like that? Because I feel like for me personally, like I didn't start seeing vehicles until I started looking for them. You know what I mean? Yeah, because I think it's one of those things that maybe if you see it, it doesn't register in your brain that what it is. Um, it's one of those things that you see probably on a daily basis, you know what I mean? But before you actually get into the
Right.
industry, you don't really recognize it, you know what I mean? As soon as I got in the industry, I
Exactly.
see them every day now, everywhere I look,
I
you know,
know.
they're
And it's
everywhere.
like when you in the business and you don't even try. Like I'm
Yeah,
like, oh, look at them.
you can't stop seeing them when you're in the business. You're like they're everywhere, and
Exactly.
exactly.
So I
Um,
didn't really start seeing a lot of them until, like you said, until I got into my own. I started seeing a lot.
mhm.
Well, being in the healthcare field, you'll see them come pick up clients or the patients, and I'll see like a couple. And I see a lot of ambulance service, but not a lot of non-emergency. It wasn't until this one particular company came into the healthcare facility, and that's when I was like, "What are you doing?" You know, because it wasn't like a normal ambulance that I saw. It was just like van that had a stretcher,
Mm.
and they was like, "Oh, this is non-emergency transportation." So now, once I got into the business, now I see so many. I can be driving in the interstate, and I'm just seeing them everywhere. And then now it's just really very. It's like a dominant business right now.
Nice. Exactly, exactly. So what role do you play in your company?
I started out playing. I was CEO,
Mhm.
secretary, dispatcher. I was doing payroll, everything that you can name that a company does. That's what I did,
Mhm.
and I was burned out.
Mhm.
And you know, when you first start a business, you like, that's my baby. I don't want anybody to take over, you know, my business. I'm trying to stand clear or be very careful about who I let know, you know, go in your business, and because you just never know.
Mhm.
So I was very like holding tight until one day I realized, no, you need the help. So I was wearing a lot of hats, not with just one business, but several.
Exactly. And like they always say, it's always better to work on your business, not in your business. So to get some clarification, so you're not driving and
In the
you're
beginning,
and yeah,
in the
in the beginning, I'm
beginning,
saying now and
yeah,
now.
now
So now that basically means you probably have a team. That's what I'm getting at, right?
I have a team. I do
Awesome.
have a team, but of course, with teams come you have trials and error. You have people that call in, and that's one of the things. And I'm just being transparent that you do have a lot of call-ins. So every now and then, I will get in a vehicle.
Yeah, because you have a storefront too, right?
Yes.
Yeah, because I think I seen a picture and I was like, whoa, like she got the storefront and everything. I was like, she definitely must have a team for sure, for sure. That's what I had to ask you, like you're definitely CEO. You know what I mean? Like you're probably in the back doing paperwork all day.
I'm so humble that I don't even, I guess a lot of people see me as CEO, and I was just like, okay, just Tonya, I'm but I do have a team.
Awesome.
I have to.
So we're gonna dive a little bit more into more about your team a little bit later. But how did you know it was time to add additional services to your company? Like, so meaning the healthcare addition to your company. Like, was there indicators?
What's crazy is I really didn't know when it was time to add service. I started off first with the home health care. So then when, I assessing my clients and going and visit the family, they're like, well, can you take her to the doctor's appointments?
That's interesting.
Instead of me, and I was like trying to navigate and find, the resources that allow them to get the transportation they need. That's when a bell went off. You need another stream of income. And help. Not only that, just to help the clients. And that was kind of stood me apart from all the other home health services here in Georgia.
Absolutely. So was there like any milestones like for example, like cash flow positive at that point? Because a lot of people when they start off, they say like, they have insurance and all these other, overhead and vehicle expenses and stuff like that. And so like was there like a key indicator, right? Maybe like you like reaching like $100,000 in the bank, right? That's just an example indicator, right? $100,000 cash in the bank. Okay, now it's time to open up additional services. Or like, was there anything, or it's just like, you know what, like let's start adding on.
My aspect wasn't even the typical amount of money in the bank. Mine was to solely help my clients. Whatever my client needs are, I want to meet those needs. And that was the forefront of everything. So it wasn't typically the, trying to, whatever money was in the bank. But of course, the downside was the insurance.
Yeah, because I was gonna say like you can't just like I feel like it'd be hard to just like get the vehicle and then the insurance because I heard that's not cheap.
It is not.
It's Friday. I'm just gonna get me a vehicle today. Start the transportation business.
Look, it took a lot of just me doing a lot of research on my part because all my businesses I have did from the ground up myself.
Okay.
I didn't have mentors. I didn't have, which is I advise anybody who wanted to get in this business to definitely do that because it would have saved me a lot of time, energy, and money.
Absolutely.
By doing that, but no, it took a lot of me just working hard, and I was I'm very conservative, but and a lot of people didn't think so, but I am, and I just wanted to not go buy a vehicle just brand new. I did not want to do that. So what I want to do, I want to pay cash for my vehicles. So what I did, I worked hard and I paid cash for all of my vehicles because I did want to cut down the overhead. I wanted to work smart. I didn't want to have all that stress with overhead. So you do have other things that comes out of your business, that can be very it can be very hard on you if you say you have the car note, you have the insurances, and you have multiple insurances, and not just the car. It's not just the vehicle insurance; it's other insurances.
Exactly. And when you have that overhead, I can just imagine like it being like if someone doesn't have, if someone didn't work smarter and decided to, pay cash for their vehicle and go out and got the most expensive vehicle and got all this debt, I feel like it'd be very hard to be the best you can be when you have all this extra stress on you because you just added on another job to yourself because now you're working kind of backwards, right?
Working backwards.
Yeah, you're working
Exactly.
backwards. And so now you got to worry about getting out of debt and then you got to worry about solving this vehicle thing. Yeah, it's crazy, right?
It is. And I didn't, it's like you get business loans and
Mm-hmm.
that is hard because typically if you are, I'm a double minority. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm a woman and I'm an African American woman.
Mm-hmm.
So it's hard to just go in the bank and say, hey, can I get a loan? No, I received a lot of no's. So, and it's great to have OPM, other people's money, what they say.
Mm-hmm.
But I worked hard and I used a lot of my own money. And now having the trial and errors and the mistakes, I know that OPM is the best way to go. So
Yeah,
now I'm I just now recently found out that okay, business credit is good. It's really a good debt to have, especially when opening a business, especially this particular business.
absolutely. Absolutely. So let's dive into some viewer questions. We have two viewer questions.
Okay.
And then we dive back into the interview questions. All right.
Okay.
All right. So the first question is it possible to bill Medicaid directly?
It's not possible right now to bill Medicaid directly. Medicaid is they are brokers. So you cannot. The only insurance that really that which you can bill directly is Medicare, which Medicare does not pay for non-emergency transportation. I wish it did, but it does not. I get those questions all the time when I get phone calls every day
Mm-hmm.
about Medicare. So Medicare does only thing that Medicare does that you can bill is for ambulance.
I see. I see. And when they make changes, would it be different for each state? Is that how that works? So if they do make revisions on this rule, I guess,
Right.
would it be different from in California versus Georgia to New York and so forth?
Oh yes. All of the non-emergency transportation are different states have all of their rules and regulations are totally different from Georgia.
Understood. Understood. Okay. So our second question is how to determine a starting base rate and price to charge per mile for private pay contracts.
Okay. So I'm not gonna be biased. So
Mm-hmm.
my answer to even the because I teach these as well. So I always tell my clients that how do you know how what to charge per mile or your private pay? I always say go with what the worth is. Do not don't underrate yourself at all. I always tell my clients, and this is what I had to learn for myself because I was underrating myself at first,
Mm-hmm.
but I learned to do research. So what I did was I was kind of calling all of the non-emergency transportation in my surrounding counties,
Mm-hmm.
and I was asking for their rates and see
Were
what they charge.
were you doing it as, hey, I'm a up and coming transportation provider, or were you saying, hey, I am a client that needs a ride, right? Like what position were you?
I am a client.
I'm a got it, got it.
I'm a client because if you try to call around and you say, I think you competition. And I had a lot of that. Trying to get started, I was asking around, hey, how do you get started? I would never get a just a strong answer.
Mm,
So then when I was trying to figure out how my pay rate was, I was always I would go from whoever charged the highest for their pay,
mhm.
private pay, and their lowest, and I stood in the middle.
I see, I see. And then like a lot of people are very secretive about, the pay and stuff like that.
Yeah,
But do you think there's a reason to be secretive about, pay? Like, I mean, at the end of the day, isn't it all about the service? Isn't the service what separates, Because like
it
for
is.
example, like if I booked, with you, and I need to go to like a dialysis appointment or something like that, wouldn't I fall in love with like the end of like it's about the service and the compassion that you get from that service, and then you're like, I don't mind paying extra, for this because I
Mhm.
trust Tonya, like I feel like safe with her,
Mhm.
and and I don't want to just meet, new people every week. You know what I mean? So I don't want to just like
Exactly.
go to another company, because they're $10 cheaper and I don't know these people,
Exactly. So I have a lot of clients that will go for me compared to lower because of the services they do get. Because
Mm-hmm.
with my services, you just do not get a transportation. Like you literally get an experience. And with my business, by the time that client gets into my vehicle to the time they get out, they are no longer a client, they're a family. So
I like
that's
that.
why I get the calls over and over and over because they don't care about who's cheaper. They care about what services they get, how my vehicles look, how my drivers are doing, and how they are treated along the way, their experience they receive.
I like that. I like that. It's like you're getting this whole package deal with you, like with the
Exactly.
company. I like that. I can definitely see why people will definitely come back to something like that for sure.
Mhm.
So, for everyone that's watching that's probably not in the industry yet, but they're interested in into the industry, what type of clients are typically the ones that are asking for this kind of service, right? NEMT service.
See, and a lot of calls that I receive are a lot of clients that do need a doctor's appointments.
What is
Um,
it? Say that again.
I like doctor's
Mm-hmm.
appointments or a lot of mostly dialysis. The brokers normally will not call because they will already call the broker, and that's how their appointments are scheduled.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of the miscellaneous calls come from those that need to go to the grocery stores or those that need to go maybe to church. I
Mm-hmm.
have gotten a call to where somebody just literally wanted to go to the airport.
Mm-hmm.
Even I received my biggest transport was the one with stretcher that I took to the Atlanta airport that had to be transported to get air flighted out.
Mm-hmm.
So those are the ones I get. Also, I had ones that had death in the family and they wanted to go to the service. And
I was actually I was just talking about that the other day.
they
I was
did
like,
not know how they was gonna get there, but guess what? Your life made it happen. So
nice, nice, nice. Yeah, it's so funny. I was just thinking about that because I was just saying like, there's a lot of people that probably just want to go to like see other family members, or they're moving or something like that, and because I was just asking like, could a company like specialize into like cross state lines, right? Like if someone is want to see a family member and let's say I don't know, what's the next state? Like I think the next state over like down is like Florida, right? There's nothing between Georgia and Florida, I don't think, right?
like
If they want to go to like Florida or something like that, could a transportation provider offer that service, taking them across state lines.
as you can, but my advice to them is get like a DOT number if they're
mm,
going to do that.
can
So I
you
do
what is
have
the
that
DOT what is the DOT number?
Department of Transportation.
Mm-hmm.
So just register your vehicle with them and get that. And I did that in the forefront. I didn't even know I was going like state line or over it. So I just received it.
Now, is the DOT number a lot of money? And does it take a lot of effort to get one?
It does not. It is a small fee.
Mm-hmm.
I think I paid about $300, but I think I had to redo it every year.
Mm-hmm.
So
And to make that back, with your transportation, it's like a no brainer. It sounds like definitely like a DOT number will open up more doors for you.
yes,
So with it, so that's definitely something that people should definitely check out. How many vans do you currently have?
I have four.
Wow, that's awesome. Now, are they all like wheelchair vans? Are they some sedans or like what are we looking at?
I have a wheelchair van. I
Mhm.
have ambulances, and I also have regular ambulatory vans.
Wow, so you're doing like stretcher and everything.
Oh yes,
Wow, you're doing it all. That's amazing. That's amazing. I love it. I love it. I love it. Um, is there any like benefits of like having I don't say relatives because it's your husband, but I guess like a husband in this sector, right? Also, um, because like since he's in the fire department, I'm pretty sure he's like hand in hand with the I guess ambulance services and stuff like that. So
yes,
like you get to like see firsthand of like new like I guess what's the like I guess new procedures and stuff like that, and you probably apply that to your procedures. I don't know. I don't know if that's a thing, but
yes. So that is a benefit. because I can know some of the ins and outs that goes on, or some of the changes that are getting ready to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of the EMTs drive or they work for non-emergency transportation companies. So if something come about, I'm one of the first ones to know if they hear anything like, okay, babe, this is getting ready to change, or this is going on, or hey, they're paying their EMTs this much, baby. So you might need to. That's the only thing that he really does, like hands on. Just he let me handle the business.
So speaking of, so since you're doing all the business, for someone that's getting into this industry, I think I say that a lot. Someone that gets into this industry, I need to like stop. I say repetitive words all the time. So, is a business plan essential when starting out? And if so, what are some components that should be included in your business plan?
Okay, a business plan is not essential, but if you're planning on going to the bank and getting a loan, you definitely need a business plan. And every strategy that's in the business plan, you need in there. You need your flow sheet. You got to make sure you put in there what you think your projected revenue is going to be in that business. That needs to be in there. Who's your market? You got to know who you're marketing. Who's the surrounding companies that are going to be competitive to your business. So they definitely want to know that before they even try to give you a loan, to see if your revenue is going to is it going to be beneficial to give you that loan. So that's when a business plan comes into play. But starting out, you wouldn't have to if you are doing private. If you're just doing a private pay, or you cutting down your overhead and you're not trying to get a business loan, because I didn't use it. I have a business plan. I never used it.
Yeah, because things always change anyway, right? We think we're going one way, and we end up going another way anyway. So that makes sense.
Oh, I take it back. If you're trying to get, some insurance companies want you to have a business plan. So when getting a business loan, and some insurance, not all, I'm gonna ask you, but
this may be I don't know if this is a bad question to ask. So if you have like certain things, right, does that sometimes determine if you can get a lower rate or not, right, by being how prepared you are? So you know how for regular civilians, right, like myself. So if you, like, for example, if your car is red, your insurance may be a little higher than someone that car is green. If it's a Lamborghini, it's going to be higher than someone that has a Toyota Camry. Absolutely. So in this industry, if you're more prepared, right, and you have maybe this business plan, or you have X, Y, and Z documents or whatever, or a DOT number or whatever we're talking about right here, can that sometimes help you with a lower price insurance? Does it make sense what I'm trying to ask?
It can. I say the lower rate really depends on your experience.
And your record, probably your driving record and whatnot.
Exactly, because they're going to ask you, depending on what type of vehicle you have, what's your year, what is your vehicle's worth? I have had they ask me that, and that will determine if your rate is lower. If you are just no experience and you are just straight out the gate trying to do this business, your insurance is going to be higher.
So that's probably something that people should just be like, hey, you got to bite the bullet on this one. Insurance is high.
Yeah, and that's the deal breaker. Normally, the insurance is the deal breaker, whether they want to do the business or not.
It's a dream. Insurance is sometimes a dream killer, huh?
I tell you, it almost destroyed my dream. And I'm just being transparent. It literally almost killed my dream.
Absolutely. So you started home care services initially. What services fall under home care services?
Just daily living.
Well, in your specific company.
In my specific, we do we take care of the laundry, we do light housekeeping, not just full housekeeping, just very light housekeeping. We feed, we groom, we medication reminders. Of course, transportation is under that umbrella. We do a lot of services with our home health company.
And is that typically
Companion, sitting.
and is that typically through like nursing home facilities? Like is that contracted to nursing home facilities or like residential homes or
It depends on the client, the discharge. A
mm,
lot of clients, it's just coming from family members that call and say, "Hey, I need someone to take care of my family while I'm at work." Or we get a lot of discharge. Some I have from the skilled nursing facilities that the patients get discharged and the families don't have anybody there to take care of their relatives. So that's where we come into play and help lighten that load for our families and
wow.
discharge from the hospitals. And we just don't typically just do nursing and discharge from the hospital. We do postpartum from any the women that have babies. They might
Mm,
need help, they may have C-sections that we come in and we help. We do a like sitting. Maybe a family member want to go to out of town and they don't have anybody to take care of their family members at the time, and
mhm.
that's where we come into play.
I see, I see. So what requirements is needed to get into something like that? I mean, do you need like any kind of specialized I don't
Yes.
know, insurance or like I mean, you're Dr. Tonya, so like, does that like, kind of tie into some kind of like like
No,
some degree or
you
anything?
don't have to have any credentials to be a CEO of a home health company. You do need to hire credentialed nurses and you
Hmm.
do certified nursing assistants. But as far as being a owner with credentials, no, you definitely do not have to have credentials to or go to college to be a home health owner. No.
I see. Um, Okay, so a lot of people in Macon, Georgia, because you're headquartered in Macon, Georgia,
Yes.
right? And one thing that really stood out for me when I came across you, came across you on Instagram, um, was it seemed like you're very involved in your community.
Yes.
So you probably already know what picture I'm talking about. There was one picture particularly where you had the setup, you had the pop, what is it, pop up tent, not a tent, but it's like
It's
a
like
table.
a
Yeah, a
table
table
set up.
exactly, and it was like a
Mhm.
public event.
Yes.
Um, and so, how has volunteering for your community directly contributed to your growth, to your success in your company?
You know what? It definitely played 100% major part of the
Mm-hmm.
growth of my company because you're not only are you a business that people need, but you have a face.
Mm-hmm.
So when you go out in the community and you show that you're passionate and you're trying to be involved in community activities, that's when people are going to come out and ask questions. What do you do? How can I find out more information about your business? And then how can we know more about your transportation business as well? So I incorporate all of that when I do those community events.
And people mainly ask those questions when they feel closer to you, right? They can see, who's the owner of this company. And
Yeah,
I never understood why some people like have a service-based business, but they have no face to their company, right?
right.
It's no shade to them, I mean, whatever works. But I just see, if I'm gonna trust my loved ones with someone, like I want to see, like the compassion in
Yeah,
their eyes. You know what I mean? Um,
exactly. Their personality.
the personality, exactly. And so um I can definitely see firsthand exactly what you're saying for sure and how that can be a huge benefit and people feeling closer to you.
Exactly. And I get that a lot because they always tell me like, oh, I feel like I've known you forever.
Isn't
And,
that what I said? That's exactly what I said to you. I was like, like I'm like I know her. I'm like yeah, it's like yeah, like we can vibe.
and this is me. This is just how I am, especially with my families. It just my I guess it's that intuitive of me having that caretaking personality that I have, but I also have a bubbly personality as well. So I'm always smiling. I'm willing to help, and they just see that, and I guess it resonates from the outside, and they're like, okay, I want my mom to be able to be with her business, because she's not only she just laid back, she's a very cool person. I'm not like shy, and I talk, and I'm gonna go over and beyond, and that's one of my big attributes about myself. I'm gonna not only give the service that you require of me, but I'm gonna give you the experience.
Absolutely. You also got that comforting like
Mhm.
southern like draw, you know. It's like it's like it falls right in line with everything you're doing. So it just complements everything you're doing. It's like, yep,
Yes.
yep, I love it. So what's some tips and strategies on maximizing the I guess the networking events, right? Like how do you maximize that experience? Some tips and strategies.
I typically just go with the flow of what I know. I can just say is, I don't know, it's just in me. I just make the phone calls. Tell them what I'm doing. I have my public personality. Making sure that I'm also always showing a face, sending the emails, contacting the case managers and social workers, and just making sure that they always hearing my voice. So
Well,
they'll have.
even I mean to cut you off, but even when you're at the event, right? So like do you like bringing like maybe like some pins with you or like making sure you're handing out business cards and like
Oh, of course. Business cards. I have my logos. I don't know if you can see this, but
here
it's
let's see put like
yes.
there you
That
go.
logo, when my vans are going down the street, that's K.O.L Life.
Mm-hmm.
T-shirts, ink pens, journals. I
Mm-hmm.
do a lot of those. I got a lot of brochures, just a lot of signs, anything that has my brand,
Mm-hmm.
that's what I use to like market.
And that's probably very helpful when you go to these like events and stuff like that. And like
Oh,
when they
absolutely.
stop at your station, you can probably give them like a I don't know, like a pin or a t-shirt or
I get
something
a
like that.
pen. Yeah, I give bags. So I put the ink pens in there. I will put my business card, my brochures. I put candy
Mm-hmm.
in
Who doesn't
there.
love candy?
I I know who don't love candy, but I I be careful, because I don't want to try to overstep my boundaries, because you don't know who's diabetic.
That's true. That's very true.
Exactly. So I try to kind of stay away from that. My thing now, I love flowers. So and that's
Mm.
my personality. So what I do now, I logo my like sunflower seeds. So
Hmm.
I put those in a logo bag, and I send them out. So when they plant those seeds, they'll think about Kill Life. So I love
Absolutely.
flowers.
I
So
like
that's just
that.
one of my new marketing strategies.
Awesome. Awesome. So what's some considerations? What's some things to consider when you're establishing these partnerships with these other providers and these other facilities? What's some things that you consider?
What I consider for
Like as far as like, establishing these
non-emergency.
partnerships. So like for example, if they're going to be reliable or not, right? Do you consider like the look of their vans, right? Because first impression is everything,
Oh,
right? So
oh, absolutely.
um the healthcare facility, like if they're treating their if their client, if their residents look happy or not. I don't know if people can look happy or not from first, for first looking at them, but
Exactly.
if it's clean inside the residence home, the
Oh,
residence home.
we get that a lot. So a lot of clients will leave a company and come to us, and they'll literally tell us what they didn't like.
Hmm.
Even though you can see some vehicles aren't as clean as ours. We take pride in our vehicles. So we want to make sure when you step in, it smells good, it's clean in the inside. All of our drivers are looking the part, because it's the brand. So
Absolutely.
not only it focus on me, the brand is my employees as well.
And
So
when you partner with someone, it probably like kind of like ties into your brand a little bit. Probably if they see like a vehicle that's not directly
uh-huh,
related to your business, but if you're partnering with them, it may also indirectly look bad on your brand, right?
it will. And it depends on
Mm-hmm.
if they're not on time. We get a lot of
Mm-hmm.
that. I want to make sure that if I partner with anybody, they're on time. They keep those same dynamics that I keep in my business, making sure, because that's a big one. If you're always late and the clients are frustrated, they're in dialysis all day, and then they have to wait 3-4 hours for a ride, that's
Yeah.
frustrating.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, and it kind of goes against like everything that a company, an NEMT company should be, pushing, right? Of like,
Yeah.
compassion, being there, being, reliable, right? I think that's the biggest thing, right?
Being reliable.
Yeah. And if you're not reliable, you're not
Exactly.
nothing in this industry, right? It's just like you lose
And,
all credibility at that point.
exactly. And you really don't want to lose that, because the
Mm,
last thing you need is to lose the credibility for not only the community but also the clients and the social worker, the case. And then that's when your business can really just go downhill because you lost all of that. So that's
exactly.
what we strive to and continue to do.
Do you have any advice on maintaining long-term relationships with ongoing collaborations? Meaning like partnerships with like another provider or like a facility. Like do you go there and just, hey, it's Mother's Day, I'm gonna hand out flowers just to just show you guys I care, or like do you just like give the staff like like cookies on Sunday? I mean, not Sunday, but like Monday, like happy Monday.
My big thing is I'm a giver at heart. I
Mm-hmm.
can't help it. I'm always in trouble because I'm always giving. Um, I love to feed my staff. I give them gift cards, Chick-fil-A in the mornings, or breakfast, or
Oh shit. I need a job there. Chick-fil-A?
lunch.
What?
They get Christmas time bonuses, birthdays. You work for me, you're my family.
I love it. I
So it's
love
not
it.
really you're working for me. It's like literally you are joining my family.
Mm-hmm. I think that's very important. What do they say? Like people don't quit jobs to quit bosses or something like that. I think that's what they said. Like people don't.
Exactly.
Yeah, and so like if they respect you, and they like you said, treat them as family, they're gonna stay, and
They're gonna stay. And
exactly.
that's a lot of the turnover rates are so high with drivers,
Mm,
home health. Oh my goodness. It is so crazy, especially during the COVID season, how they had a lot of people just quit their jobs,
hmm.
but a lot of people stayed because of how they are treated.
Yeah,
Like I feel like I belong here. I'm not gonna leave you because a lot if you have employees or collaborations that really care about you, that speak volume for your business.
mm,
That means I mean it can literally level your business up to a whole nother level because you're not only the boss. I consider all of my employees the bosses
hmm.
because they are all they play a certain role with how well my business grows, how successful we are. Um, Not only that, they are my marketing strategies. They go out and they speak good volume. When they do right by clients, that's marketing. I don't even have to really do anything. I get the
Yeah,
calls.
yeah, absolutely. So, Tanya, when we talked before, you mentioned some advantages and disadvantages of being a female a female in the transportation industry. Can you kind of like just like briefly, kind of highlight that, kind of summarize what we kind of talked about before?
Yes. Being a minority and
Hmm.
being a African American woman business owner, it's very hard at
Hmm.
times because, like I said before, a lot of people do not take you serious. They don't
Hmm.
think you serious about your business. They don't think you know a lot about the business. So I literally have to. I don't have. I show and prove. In the beginning, you do have to show and prove. But now that I have started, like, okay, she knows what she's doing. She knows how to run her business. She know how to run her business in the right way, and she take care of her staff. So now it's they look at me as a business owner and a successful business owner because not only that, I only have not one business. Obviously, I'm doing something right because now I have three. So
Mm.
that's upside now with, but in the beginning it's hard for especially African American women to be seen as serious, especially when you're going out and try to get business loans. They will not see you as business unless they really know you.
Hmm.
But like I say, it's something that you have to show and prove that okay, she know what she's doing. She's very smart about her business, and I really hate that bias about how women are being treated because a lot of women are in business, like literally more than it's beginning to be more than men now. And we are not being taken as serious in our business because, and like I said, because I am a double minority.
I can definitely understand. Um, do you have any advice for you to say like someone in a similar situation that's feeling discouraged and they're in a similar situation? What do you want to tell them?
I would tell them never give up. I say all wins are wins, but failures are also wins because our wins and failures they get you to where you are going through that to get you where you are and to be successful. And I just made that post today. I said, no matter your wins, no matter your failures, all of it's there to get you to where you are to succeed. So
Absolutely.
never give up on your dreams. Continue to keep pushing. Nothing comes easy. Nothing
Never,
comes
never give
easy. It's
up.
not easy, but do not give up. And sometimes that's how you learn and to grow in your business. It's all the journey. It's not about the destination.
Nothing worth having comes easy,
Nothing.
and going through the fire when you come out, you're gonna be like, I can't, you're gonna look back kind of like what you said. It's been since 2019 already. You said you're like, I can't believe it's been so long already. So
I know I could go on and on about the business.
what's some common challenges that's faced by NET providers, and how can they overcome them? So, like, what's some common challenges that you see?
The most common challenges that I see now is like the turnover, the just getting the staff. It's very, very hard. And not only with just my business, with so many businesses in the surrounding counties are struggling to try to get those employees to come and work, and not only work but stay. So that's
So,
a challenge.
what I mean, like, I know we talked about just being like I guess like a great
Mhm.
you know um leader on the team and the company, but like, what can they do to kind of like solve that problem or soften the blow of the drawback that you face from like the high churn rate?
I say always treat your staff um very kind. I say make sure because your literally the staff is gonna make or break your company. So make sure that you treat them with the utmost respect. They don't have to be at the company. They just that is what they choose to do, and that's why I treat my staff the way I treat them. Like I treat them like family. I It's not about just giving the bonuses or acknowledging the birthdays and stuff. It's just being appreciative of whatever they do every day, all day. Like I'm very appreciative boss.
Is there any ways to make sure that everyone is being heard? I mean, is there any tips on that? Maybe it's like they have the ability to put in like a tip, not a tip, but like a
Like a box where they
yeah,
can
some kind
just
of box where they can kind of like kind of discuss, kind of like anonymously, like stress their concerns or like what they really like or
and that's
something
where
like that.
I have an open door policy. It's open door. Come in
Mm,
office, come sit down, and let's talk about your concerns. And I'm gonna do whatever I can to try to fix it.
I like that. I like that.
Mhm.
So tell us, what's going on with Key of Life? Like what do you want the people to know about Key of Life?
Oh
Like
goodness!
like future things coming up. Are you going to be hiring? Are you hiring? You have
Oh,
an events
ever?
coming up. Do you offer consultation services? Like, these are all things that we want to know.
No. So Key of Life is growing as a business. Um, I do offer courses.
Mm-hmm.
So that's another aspect of what I have going on right now. I teach classes. I taught my second class last month. So every couple of months, I do have courses that I allow individuals come and I give them a blueprint on how to start a non-emergency transportation company. I also have courses on how to start a home health business as well. I'm working on courses now to help those be able to get the business credit, how to start business credit on their own. how to go about getting marketing strategies, also how to change your mindset, because if you don't have the positive mindset, you're not going to have a positive business. So I have a course coming on that, how I have grown my business. I'll give all the steps that I have done to grow my business the way it is now. K.O.L Life not only do home health services, we do non-emergency transportation. I also teach CPR classes, basic life support classes. So I teach those. I also teach ACLS classes for all of our healthcare providers that have critical care skills, that are working in hospitals. So I teach those. And I have a new business that I just recently started, and it's a K.O.L Life ambulance emergency service. So
I didn't know about that one. Whoa, that's crazy. It's amazing. That's
it
amazing.
is. So that will be on the road at the beginning of July. So
Awesome. Awesome.
yeah, so it's
So,
another
so
transportation.
where can people get more information on these things?
The courses that I provide are on Overlook to overbookacademy.com.
Okay.
And they can follow me at Dr. Tonya Stevens on Instagram.
Awesome. Awesome. And if there's family members out there looking like, wow, like I really like I really like Dr. Tonya, and I really want, my mother or my grandmother to, to book a service with her. Where would they go to, to find out more information on your NEMT service and looking for services?
Yes. So you can find me to get more information on my home health services at KeolLifeHealthServices.com. Also, with my non-emergency transportation website is KeolLifeTransportationService.com.
Amazing, amazing. You guys, Dr. Tonya has a ton of information, and as you can tell, from this interview, she's very nice. She's a very nice person, and she's very helpful. So if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to her. Dr. Tonya, where can they find you? What's the best way to get in contact with you?
You can email me at drtonyastevens@gmail.com.
Mm-hmm.
So that's an email. Also, you can inbox me at Dr. Tonya Stevens on Instagram, or you can also contact me at info@overlook-to-overbookacademy.com.
Amazing. Amazing. So you guys, if you have any additional questions, you can leave a comment below, or if you have any specific questions and you want to get closer to Dr. Tonya to figure out more about what she's offering and find out more about how you can get involved in her courses, feel free to reach out to her. She has she mentioned multiple channels that you can reach out to her. And just a couple types away, That's not even a word. She's just one message away for you to be connected with her. So definitely reach out to her, especially if you're in the Georgia area, because she's very knowledgeable in the space. And as I mentioned, knowledge is power, and that's the only way. Sharing knowledge is the only way we can all become powerful. So yeah, thank you, Dr. Tanya. Thank you for stopping by.
I also want to mention, I have a book.
Okay.
It's Overlook to Overbook, and it's on Amazon.
Awesome. So you guys check that out also. And do you want to add anything else? Or?
No, I think that's it.
Awesome. All right, you guys. So thank you guys for watching the Zenpath Radio podcast. We appreciate you guys, and we'll see you on the next one. Take care.